I'm sure that you will agree with me that 2020 has been a hectic year for everybody. There are so many different things happening in 2020, and some of the things that happened I would never have imagined in my life. In this video, I'm going to talk about 6 lessons that I have learned in 2020. Life is short, so don't take it for granted and don't take anyone for granted. I am learning to live each day like it's my last. I lost my mom of July of this year, and even though she lived to be almost 81 years old, I feel like it wasn't enough time. And I wish I had more time to spend with her. The second thing I learned is that how important family is. What have helped me to focus and to stay positive, even though we are in a pandemic, and that is family. Every moment I spend with my family, I treasure it because I do understand and know that those are precious moments. And family is important. For the last couple of months, whenever I pray to God, I ask Him to protect my family, to protect us from harm and danger from diseases that's going around. And I thank God for doing that. I thank Him for putting a shield around us. The third thing that I have learned, and I have taken it for granted practically all my life, is how important it is to be able to communicate face to face to people, to be able to touch them if you want to, not to have to worry about standing 6 feet apart. That's crazy. And I am an introvert, so I love being at home, but I do miss interacting at a large gathering with people. That is important. And we were created to communicate with each other. That's something that we need in order to be able to function normally. The fourth thing that I learned is how important self-care is. After I lost my mom, I had to make sure that I was okay. And so what I have started doing on a regular basis is I pay attention to my feelings and how I'm feeling on the inside. And also I am learning that it is okay to cry. All of that is healthy in it. And it's also helping me to grieve. And I have learned this year too, is that I was the biggest hindrance to myself because I didn't treat myself right, because I didn't think about myself in a positive way. So I'm learning to take care of myself and also to love myself. The fifth thing that I have learned this year is how important it is to have a good, genuine relationship with God. And the reason why I say that is because that if I didn't have a good relationship with God, all this crazy things that's going on in the world, I would feel afraid and I would even panic about it, because we have had a lot of crazy things to happen this year. And if it wasn't for me trusting in God, I know that it would have been hard for me to make it through, and not just make it through, but continue to have peace on the inside. So I have learned that it's very important to develop a genuine relationship with God, and don't wait until obstacles come in your life to spend time with God, but just do it on a regular basis each day. I've learned how important it is just to talk to God. And I've also learned too that it's not so much how much time you spend. You don't have to spend an hour or more a day. Just take a few minutes out of your day and just whisper a prayer to God. One of the main things that I have learned this year is that I'm stronger than what I thought I was. And the reason why I know it is because certain challenges that I have faced this year, I would not have done it because of fear. And I'm learning to do things that I am uncomfortable with. One of the main things I can say that I've learned from this year is that if God tells you to do something, you need to do it. Even if you are afraid, you do it anyways, and just know that He's going to be with you. I was in a situation this year to where I've done something that I've never done before. I faced a group of people and I shared what I believed in, even though I knew that in this situation that I had faced, that everyone was against me. And I do remember God told me before I went to this particular meeting is that He would tell me what to say and don't worry about it because He's going to be with me. And even though I was afraid, I did it anyways, and I spoke and said what God wanted me to say. And I'm just so glad that I passed that test. And from that lesson, and even from losing my mom, I know that I'm stronger than what I thought I was. And now I feel more brave and more courageous. So I would say, if I had to summarize everything that I learned this year, I would say the main thing is that when God is with you, you can go through and you can handle anything. I have a question for you. What are one of the main things that you learned from this year? Thank you for tuning in with Chats with Flo, and I hope you have a happy new year.